was like when I started with the quant also, the first question I was not sure of what the answer would be. And that was the first question. So that initially I did like rise my anxiety a little. But then
Mm.
as it went by, I was like, okay, fine, if the first question is wrong, I can come back to it later, which is not an
Mhm.
option you have in the other exam. It was a balanced test all in all. It was nothing beyond what classic edition is and or what's not in your prep material. Like the day before the exam, I wasn't just reading through the notes. I was very relaxed. I was just like, okay, reviewing my past exams, seeing what I did wrong, and knowing what not to do again. So
So really, really happy to see in the first quant session, we have someone with 100 percentile in the quant section. We did not intend this because I came to know this morning. And Shraddha recently, look at this, the date is some 3rd Jan. So maybe 2nd Jan or 1st Jan, she wrote the exam. We'll ask her. 695. So add 55 marks. This is equivalent to a 750 score. And very, very happy that somebody in the quant section has scored 100 percentile just to prove that it is definitely possible. Hi, Shraddha. I can see you definitely. Yeah.
hi everyone, so glad to be here.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Shraddha, what has been your journey? I know it's been a little longer than usual, but I would like to know about this attempt only, particularly that you've taken. How did you go about it, and how did you manage a quant 100 percentile score? Because we are doing a quant session today, so I'd like to focus a little more on the quantitative side as well. So, just take us through when you started for this particular attempt. How did you go about this?
All right, yeah, sure. So previously I had given the classic edition twice, but
Mm,
I was lacking somewhat in quant, not because I wasn't good with formulae. I've always been good at math, but data sufficiency is where it was pulling down my grade. So, considering the lack of time with the round two applications almost around the corner,
mhm,
I thought I'd shift my strategy and I'd shift to focus edition. So, applying the same methods, applying the same teachings that you had provided in the
mm,
classic edition and the formulae that were very essential to the GMAT prep,
mhm,
I used all of those and I thought I'd rather give GMAT Focus Edition because I'm very good at problem solving, but
mhm.
data sufficiency was my weak point. So I felt like it
Okay.
was more about navigating your own journey.
Right, right, right. And what all have you studied in the verbal and quant bit, whichever attempt? I mean, just tell me, and in the data insights part also this time, just tell. Yes.
Yeah, so quant, basically, I feel like math I was very good at from high school, but you don't have to be egoistic about it. The basic videos that you put up, the
Mm,
prerequisites for learning, even though it's
mm,
not important, you say it's optional, but I feel like it was so helpful because
mm.
in school and college you learn all about math, but this is focused entirely on what GMAT is asking. So if there is some
Right.
formula that helps you come to an answer quicker, I feel
Mm.
like we should definitely spend like some time to utilize
Right,
that
right, right.
session and just improve our own self. Like that's what the videos are for. Where you're spending 2 months on prep, might as well spend 2 more days on watching those videos because they were very helpful.
Right. And in terms of the content in verbal, did you follow all the approaches, let's say reading comprehension, critical reasoning, and let's say apart from that, data sufficiency, as you said, was a little weakness, but it would have anyway come in the data insights section. So how was the overall prep and the test experience then? Let me know. With whatever you want to share, by the way, we don't want to keep it too structured. Whatever you want to share, right?
So verbal RC was one of my luck points, not weak points, because sometimes it would go really well and sometimes it would go terribly, pulling my down score. So I felt like RC was just all a matter of luck. But with the
Mm-hmm.
lessons that you had given, with the octave techniques and
Mm-hmm.
everything, it changed from luck to a matter of, eliminating the wrong answers. It just became
Mm-hmm.
very clear why this is wrong. And I don't have to come to the right answer. I just need to like remove the wrong answers.
Right, right, yeah.
So that way it was very helpful. It was not a matter of luck anymore. And also with SC or sentence correction, I really liked doing sentence correction. but it was just not where I was scoring. So
So that's why you shifted as well, probably. Well,
yeah.
how was critical reasoning prep then? Tell us about that because sentence correction now it's not very relevant to this discussion. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's right now there's a month left also for GMAT Classic. So if you're not
Mm,
scoring well in sentence correction, you definitely must shift because there isn't a lot of time left for you to focus on it. And if you want to do
right.
applications, especially, I feel like it's very
Mm,
vital. Just shift your strategy a bit. It's almost like you're more than halfway there if you've done
mm,
classic edition prep. So
right.
about critical reasoning also, the techniques like, evaluate questions and it was very similar to the classic edition. I
Right,
feel
right, right. Yeah.
almost there. It's like once you do a set of questions, if you've done 100 questions, you kind of know what's coming. When the question's being asked, you kind of already have an assumption of what it might ask. Although it's
Right.
not good to, pre-assume and just go with
Mm-hmm.
that. It's very important that you read the options with a fresh mind. And
All
again,
right.
eliminate the wrong ones. Never look for the right one. So
Right, right.
I got a very good accuracy because of that.
And you would have obviously seen your very extensive score report these days that come with the focus edition. And how was your prep for the integrated reasoning part and data sufficiency? Anyway, you would have prepared with the quant bit. Did you prepare more with the, I mean, for the integrated reasoning part as well, or not too much?
I think data integration is where I kind of lost my grip on
Yeah,
the. I could have improved on that, but also, like in the classic edition, it wasn't counted towards your score. But now you have to
right,
pay a lot of attention to it. But
right,
the
right.
problem was that, like, I bought the official mocks from
Mm.
MBA.com also.
The new mocks, that is
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Right.
So, but I couldn't understand why my answer is wrong or why the right answer is right because there isn't enough,
No
like,
solution
there's no
also. Yeah.
solution on it. Right now, it's all new for everybody.
Right. Tell me your exam experience, exactly whether it was at the center or online, number one. What order did you choose for your sections? And was there anything unusual? One by one, we can discuss. Yeah.
Sure. So I took my exam on 31st December. I thought I'd end the year on a good note or a bad
Right.
one. But luckily for me, it ended great. And
Mhm.
the order that I chose was the default order, quant first, then verbal. Then I took a
Mm.
10-minute break and then I did data
The
integration.
DI. Yeah. Right.
Yes, I did PI then. And I think the most important thing, the differentiating factor among the previous two tests and this test was that for this test, I just went with a very calm, a calm sense of being. For this one, I just went with like, okay, let's just try my best. I know everything that I know. I've already
Mm.
learned from your materials. So I
Right.
know I have the knowledge. I just need to calmly give the exam and not be anxious and not be, having exam anxiety.
All
So
right.
I think that was the
But were
best.
you able to manage that? I mean, thinking about it is one thing, but
Yeah.
actually achieving that calmness is another. So were you able to eventually manage that on the test day?
Yeah, in fact, I was like when I started with the quant also, the first question I was not sure of what the answer would be. And that was the first question. So that initially I did like rise my anxiety a little. But then
Mm.
as it went by, I was like, okay, fine, if the first question is wrong, I can come back to it later, which is not an
Mhm.
option you have in the other exam.
Right, right.
Want to keep that, like, I don't want to just choose an answer and go ahead. But if I've already spent my good time on it and I
Mhm.
don't know the answer, I don't want to ruin the rest of the exam.
Right, right,
So but I just bookmark it and then I'll flag it and I'll come back to it later if possible.
right, right.
So that is one of the calming factors the focus edition gives, which is
Mhm.
not an option for the other exam.
And apart from the first question, which may also be the result of nerves, maybe it wasn't so tough, but it's just the beginning, so it can. Was there anything unusual, or was the quant section pretty smooth for you in terms of time management also, and in terms of the type of questions that you had seen before? Just let me know.
The type of questions I would say was on the same level. It was nothing beyond what is in your prep
Hmm.
or beyond classic edition math.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's better that areas where I was lacking, especially geometry, they've removed all of that. So I feel like it's if you understand formula, if you understand algebra, if you
Mm,
know what the question is asking, you just need to
right,
like you can immediately come to the answer without a doubt.
right.
Nothing that was difficult in that exam.
And you could finish it in time, the first quant
In
section?
fact, I had 12 minutes left on the section.
12. Okay, that's crazy. Right, right, right. And describe your verbal section as well. Okay, also tell, did you write the exam at the center or online? Like, what was it?
Yes, yes. I wrote the exam at a test center.
At a test center. Okay. How about your verbal section? Once again, the pacing also and unusualness or anything that you saw on the test that was genuinely unusual. Yeah, please tell.
So pacing, I felt verbal could have been better for me. It
Mm-hmm,
was, I feel like RC was a little less and CR was a little more.
mm-hmm,
And I knew that RC, I'm gonna ace it. I know Octave and I'm gonna use that. But surprisingly, I got more CR questions. So
mm-hmm.
it was a balanced test all in all. It was nothing beyond what classic addition is and or what's not in your prep material. I feel like if you go through it, critical reasoning was a lot, like negating the facts and
Mm-hmm.
then coming to the conclusion. So I feel like all of that was covered, and you get sufficient amount of time if you allocated like 2 minutes per question. Also, then also you get sufficient time because not
Right, right,
every question takes the same amount of time, but you can be at peace with it.
right. How about the third section? And when you took the break, I mean, was it planned that you take the break after the first two? All this was planned beforehand, right?
Yes, so I
Okay.
had planned that after verbal. It's not because I wanted the break, but it's also sometimes you just read so much that you need to give your mind also peace. You
Yeah,
need,
yeah.
your mind needs a break. Sometimes like 448,
Mm-hmm.
you can interpret as 488 just because
Right,
of
right.
the toughness of like sitting for 2 hours.
Right.
So I
So
feel
describe the section because according to you, this was a challenging section for whatever reason. So just describe it, please. Yeah.
so data insights was, I mean, it was graph section was kind of similar on tone with
Mm,
what we had experienced earlier in data
mm,
insight, like in integrated reasoning. But the two-part analysis was
mhm.
where I was weak. So like it's you have to interpret data from like different tabs, and then
You
there are
meant multi-source reasoning, that
that's
is,
already
not
my
two points.
yeah. So like it's
Yeah.
information in two, three different tabs. So for me to always like understand what the question is asking and like where is it asking from, where that information is, that was where I lacked. And I feel like I got two of those questions of multi-source reasoning.
Hmm.
So that's where like my score just it could
And
have been
did it
in the
also mess up your pacing in that section or no?
yes, it did. I didn't get a chance to read the last question either, but I just marked it to not get penalty.
Right, right, right. All in all, now that you have really aced it, and obviously with some effort and with some, like, I'm sure some sort of heartache also in between. It's not a pleasant experience when you have to write it again and again. What would be some pieces of advice for people who are yet to start or yet to write the exam? This batch, by the way, started yesterday, so you can tell everything. They do not know everything that we do here. So yeah.
I feel like if you've already begun your prep, it's very important to be consistent with it.
Mm,
It's very important that you have like a schedule plan. Like even if you want to take a 1 day break, 2 day break, that's fine. But as long as you're not completely like ignoring GMAT prep, at least read one reading comprehension a day so that you develop that habit. And when you're reading a passage, it just comes naturally to you. And there are so many
right,
helpful videos that you've also uploaded for
right.
improving your knowledge. So when you're reading the passage, if you already have knowledge of it, it also like makes you more interested as to what the passage is saying. So you get
Right.
more engrossed in it, and that results in a better outcome in your RC, especially
You're talking about awareness and know the world videos, probably. Yeah, yeah.
awareness videos.
So consistency is one thing that you have really stressed on. Any other thing that you would like to talk about here, please?
Also, like as I said, the differentiating factor for me was uh, being going with a calm state of mind. So I think that is very important because even in the previous exams, I knew that I had read everything, I knew everything, but I was just so anxious. And it's just important to not put everything at stake. Just give an exam like it's an exam. You can either do well or you have a chance to take it again. So I think it's very
Right.
important to highlight that. Just study for learning. Don't study for like
Mm-hmm.
being the top scorer.
Right.
Do well.
Did you anticipate an equivalent of a 750 score this time? No.
No, I did not expect it at all. I was not even scoring this much in my official marks. And
Okay.
I just gave the exam without
If you had
telling
done a
anyone.
little better on the DI section, trust me, the score would have been easily 99th percentile because you're already in the 98th. You just needed 10 more points. That is 705, which is 99th. So yeah, a couple of people had some questions. You can also read the chat window, Shraddha, or let them ask. Can you directly ask on audio everyone who's got a question? One or two we can take, please, quickly.
Uh, yeah, I can go first.
Yeah.
Shraddha, great to know about your experience. I also gave my GMAT on second. Just take 30 minutes of my history. This was my first GMAT attempt. My previous two mocks, official mocks, I had got a 760. But I was like super anxious during the exam day, and I
Mm.
ended up with a 670 only. Um,
Right.
Math, I had got 45, and I've never got a less than 49 in my math. And I'd taken math the second time. So I don't know why there was such a big gap. There were like a lot of difficult sufficiency questions that had come up.
Right.
Obviously made some silly mistakes also. But did you also find a similar gap in the focus edition between your mocks and your actual exam? Or was it pretty smooth for you that way? Or
Yeah.
was the quality of content between mocks and official exam a bit different for the focus edition as well?
So to answer your question, firstly, I've been in the same boat. I also got 45 in my GMAT Classic Edition mock. And again, not because I was weak in math, but you also get anxious because sometimes you know that you're gonna get more data sufficiency questions if you're doing well. That's
Yeah.
been. But when you don't see that happening, you get anxious as to what the previous answer that you gave was it right or not? And you get anxious about how you're doing on the exam while you're doing it. So I feel like focus addition that way because it's giving me all problem solving questions and something that I know that I need to use this formula to get my answer. That was like my solution to
Mm.
it. Like, and there was
Right.
no difference between the official mock and the actual exam. The questions are on the same level, but
Right.
it's more about how you are perceiving how you're doing.
Right.
Oh,
Another thing, those of you who have shifted from the previous edition, stop thinking about it altogether. I think now there's no legacy. There's absolutely nothing. Just think afresh. And really speaking, it shouldn't really matter as much. Anybody else has a question quickly, and we'll wrap up. Did you feel you had enough time in the last section? You can tell probably you already told that you did not have enough time. You had to mark one question. So yes, see, everybody has been telling. I really have to reiterate. You heard from me three, four times. Multi-source reasoning is where people are losing out quite a lot on. So just practice that a lot. So Shraddha, were you in a hurry to apply? Is there a reason that like were you pursuing round two something or like what was the reason for this hurry? Just tell that as well.
Yeah, so actually, I'm very adamant on going for fall 2024. I have already left my job last
Mm-hmm.
year, and I've just been studying for GMAT since. But initially, I didn't join top 1%. I was just, going through Google, learning through GMAT Club, and these multi-source information were just confusing me. That's what led
Right.
to bad score in the first attempt.
Mm-hmm.
But with top 1%, I improved my score and gradually so much so that I had all the knowledge I needed. Just I needed to go with a calm state of mind. So I feel like it was helpful that way. And yeah, I was applying for round two, and all the deadlines are in Jan.
Mm-hmm.
So although everything was at stake for this 31st December deadline, it just didn't feel that way. It felt like I was prepared for anything.
So how did you exactly manage your anxiety this time? I mean, because this is a question that I'm asked every day, and I still don't have an answer. That how do you manage it? Because I don't feel that, so really difficult for me to really tell. So yeah, if I could ask you, please tell me.
I mean, people do say that, you don't be anxious, but how can you not? Like, it's something that you feel.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what I did this time was I did not tell anybody that I was doing my exam, not even my parents.
Okay,
Nobody
okay,
knew. I just told them I'm giving a mock and not to disturb me. And I went and gave the
right,
exam because sometimes you feel anxious because of the expectations people have from you.
right,
Right
right,
after I come out of the exam hall, everyone's messaging like how much did you score? And if it's a disappointing score, you kind of feel even more embarrassed about saying it and your mood goes down even more. So I feel like it's sometimes important, keep it private, keep it with yourself, do well and tell people
So
once
is
you
that the only strategy or something else you did? I mean, consciously not to be stressed because I can't tell you how much I'm asked this question.
yeah.
Almost everybody who messes up the exam is because of this reason. I mean, more or less, this comes down to the reason. I mean, so tell me, is there anything else you did?
So this time one of the different things that I did was also um like the day before the exam I wasn't just reading through the notes. I was very relaxed. I was just like, okay, reviewing my past exams, seeing what I did wrong and knowing what not to do again. So
Just the error log sort of revision, yeah, more or
yeah,
less.
just do that. Don't one day before the exam or 2 days before, don't sit and give your mocks and be reading through your notes and just studying 24 hours. Feel like you need
Hmm.
to go with a relaxed state of mind also. That's very
Right.
important. You need to eat well. This was also one of the things that I did this time.
All right, all right. That's great to know. All right, Shraddha, thanks for coming. I know you must be having a tight schedule going on right now with the applications, and some must be remaining also. Some
Yeah,
submissions must be remaining. All right, thanks for making time to talk to us, and all the very best. Go through Know the World videos positively before any interview. Please ensure that you'll really do well if you go through the entire series. All right, all the best, and do keep in touch. Bye bye.
yes, for sure. Good luck.
Right.